2026 is shaping up to be yet another huge year for mega projects. From massive new airports to giant wind farms, next-gen telescopes, huge bridges, and record-breaking skyscrapers around the world, decades-long engineering dreams are finally becoming reality. Hey, I'm Lewis, and today we're taking a tour across the globe, looking at over 20 of the biggest mega projects completing in 2026. We're starting off this massive list in Taiwan, where an impressive bridge is set to open in 2026. This is the Danjiang Bridge, designed by the legendary architect Zaha Hadid. This mega project is truly record-breaking. It spans 920 meters, with a single 200 meters pylon, making it the longest single-tower cable-stayed bridge in the world. Construction is almost complete, with the final section of the span already installed back in September 2025. Once it opens, it'll become a vital link between Bali and Tamsui in New Taipei City. Though it has slightly been delayed, it is now set to open in May 2026. Speaking of being slightly delayed, this next mega project is similar in many ways, but on a much bigger scale. This is the Gordie Howe International Bridge, the 2.5-kilometer crossing that would soon become the longest cable-stayed bridge in all of North America. Aside from its length, one interesting feature of this bridge are the two towers on both sides. Their design is actually quite clever, resembling that of hockey sticks being swung, an homage to the bridge's namesake, Gordie Howe, one of the most famous and influential hockey players in the world. Once complete, it'll connect one of the busiest parts of the US-Canada border here between Detroit and Windsor. You see, there's already a bridge that crosses the border in this area, so why did they make another one? Well, it's kind of a complicated story. But to sum it up, this bridge is actually almost 100 years old now, and it's not exactly the widest nor the easiest to get to. So they decided to make a new one. But that's just scratching the surface. So if you want to learn more about that, we actually made a full-length video about the Gordie Howe Bridge. Construction of it began back in 2018, and the main deck has already been completed since 2024. The project was originally supposed to open in 2024, then 2025, and it is now expected to open in early 2026. Fingers crossed. Heading south, let's now take a look at some impressive skyscrapers completing in 2026. First up, we have the tallest skyscraper in all of Texas. This is the Waterline in Austin. At 74 stories and soaring to more than $300, it is officially the tallest building in the entire state. The structure topped out back in August, and it's expected to be fully completed in 2026. It'll have high-end apartments, tons of office space, and even a luxury hotel located at the bottom of the skyscraper. Over in Africa, a new skyscraper is already about to dethrone the iconic tower in Egypt as the tallest in the entire continent. This is Tour F, and in Ivory Coast. At 421 m, this tower completely shatters the country's existing record, with Tour D at just 120 meters tall. That's more than 3 times over. Interestingly, the project has been planned for a very long time now. Tour F is part of a wider modernization program for the country's administrative capital that was launched in the late 1970s. Towers A, B, C, D, and E have all been built over the years, and well, now it's time for Tower F. But now, let's shift our focus from building upward to building outward, because some of the biggest aviation megaprojects in the world are finally getting ready to open their gates. Our first stop is Vietnam, where a brand new giant airport is set to become one of the region's major aviation hubs. This is the Long Thanh International Airport, and it's gearing up to finally open in 2026. The project has been under construction since 2021, and the plans for it are nothing short of massive. The terminal's main structure is almost finished, and the first runway is already complete. They've even begun conducting calibration flights to make sure all instruments as well as the runway and taxiways are functional when the airport opens next year. Once it does, Long Thanh will have an annual passenger capacity of 25 million. It'll also help decongest the nearby Tan Son Nhut International Airport, which serves as the main airport for Ho Chi Minh City. But all of that is only the beginning. Future phases will scale the airport up to a staggering 100 million passengers per year. In its final form, Long Thanh will have 4 terminals and 4 runways. By this point, it won't just be Vietnam's biggest airport. It could even be one of the largest in the world. Over in Australia, another airport is just about ready to open to the public next year. Western Sydney International Airport is set to radically change not just aviation in the region, but also how the city itself will grow in the future. Construction of the main terminal wrapped up in mid-2025, and crews are now busy with the final interior fit-outs. The design behind this sleek and natural structure is yet again done by Zaha Hadid Architects, as well as an Australian firm, Cox Architecture. For the interior, they used a timber-inspired canopy that gives the terminal a warm and natural look. The airport was built to shape the urban development of Western Sydney for decades. New business districts, transport links, and entire communities are planned around it for many years to come. Now, over in India, another massive new airport is rising just outside of the capital city. This is Noah International Airport, and Phase 1 is nearly complete. The passenger and cargo terminals, as well as one runway, are already operational. They've even begun doing limited domestic flights to test various systems for full rollout in 2026. Once Phase 1 is fully open, Noida International Airport will have a capacity of 12 million passengers a year. Right now, it might look like just any other airport in the world, but the plans for Noah International's future are massive. There's a reason why there's a lot of empty space around it. Once it's fully complete, the airport will have 5 runways and an annual passenger capacity of as much as 300 million. Next, we're heading to Bangladesh, where the country's first ever nuclear power plant is set to begin operations sometime in 2026. This is the Rupu nuclear power plant located in Pabna, and it's a game-changer for the country's energy landscape. The plant will have a total capacity of 2.4 gigawatt, enough to power millions of homes while reducing reliance on fossil fuels. Construction has been progressing steadily, with various systems now being tested. The very first trial run of the reactors was even done just recently this month. Once fully operational by 2026, Rupur will mark Bangladesh's entry into the global nuclear energy community and provide a major boost to the country's electricity supply. Meanwhile, Turkey is also building their first nuclear power plant right here. Interestingly, the Aoyu nuclear power plant uses the exact same Russian-made reactors at the Rupur plant in Bangladesh, but instead of just 2, it'll have 4, making its total capacity 4.8 GW. The project is expected to generate around 10% of Turkey's annual power consumption. Nearly 2,000 Turkish firms are involved in construction, making this not just a Russian-Turkish project, but a massive localization success. And the first of the 4 reactors is planned to start operations in 2026. While Saudi Arabia's The Line is rumored to be indefinitely paused, another part of Neom is actually progressing quite well, and it is the Neon Green Hydrogen project located in Oxagon. This $8.4 billion mega project is set to become the world's largest green hydrogen plant. Construction is already 80% complete, and once operational, it'll be able to produce up to 600 tons of green hydrogen per day. Green hydrogen can be used in many different ways, such as cutting emissions across heavy transport and industrial sectors. Its location inside Oxagon is no coincidence either. The city is being built as Neom's high-tech industrial zone, complete with a next-generation port, deep water berth, and one of the world's largest floating structures. The hydrogen plant plugs directly into this ecosystem, drawing power from a massive 4-gigawatt mix of solar and wind now being rolled out across the site. This megaproject is one of the first large-scale projects proving that hydrogen can be produced and used at industrial levels. Up in the North Sea, a real titan is rising out of the water. The Dogger Bank Wind Farm is set to become the largest offshore wind farm in the world, with a total combined capacity of 8.1 GAW. Most of the project has been steadily underway with all of the monopills for the first few phases already installed. Some turbines have even begun generating electricity for the grid. In total, the entire wind farm will have 377 individual turbines, all built on a relatively shallow patch of the North Sea. The installation of these huge structures are done using a specially made ship that transports all the component parts to the site. They're also equipped with onboard cranes and other mechanisms capable of lifting them up into place. Dog Bangkangchi, as well as Sophia, are expected to be completed by 2026. Finally, in East Africa, Ethiopia just inaugurated the biggest and most powerful dam in the entire continent. This is the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. As of 2025, 7 of the 13 turbines have already been installed. Although the project has already officially opened, 2026 marks the year it'll go fully operational with all turbines. Once that happens, it's expected to generate as much as 15.7 terawatt-hours of electricity every year. Ethiopia aims to export all its excess generation across the region, turning the dam into both an engineering milestone and a geopolitical game-changer. In the UAE, a world-renowned art institution is about to open a brand-new 1 billion museum in the country's capital. We already covered the Guggenheim Abu Dhabi when it was supposed to open in 2025, but following budget constraints at the Guggenheim Foundation, the museum is now going to open in 2026. When it finally does, it'll feature a collection of contemporary Arab, Islamic, and Middle Eastern art. The museum will be located on an island a few minutes away from the city's downtown in a new cultural district, along with other prestigious art institutions such as the Zad National Museum, the Louvre, and the British Museum. From the arts, we now move on to the sciences, as the aptly named Extremely Large Telescope's main structure is set to be completed by 2026. This marks a major engineering milestone in the creation of the world's largest optical telescope. This complicated structure must be strong enough to handle wind, earthquakes, and the mass of the mirrors themselves, but light and precise enough to deliver super-sharp observations. Once it's done, the ELT will become the world's most powerful ground-based optical telescope. That means it kind of works like a normal telescope, but just way bigger. To put that size into perspective, here's a comparison to other telescopes around the world. The ELT is also equipped with an infrared sensor, which can see things our naked eye can't. This makes the telescope capable of peering deeper into the universe and unlocking mysteries about exoplanets, early galaxies, and the nature of dark matter. The telescope will conduct its first test observations in 2029. Launching across 2 hemispheres, this is the Cherenkov Telescope Array Observatory. It's being built as the world's largest and most sensitive gamma-ray observatory. What this means is that it's not like your ordinary telescope, which uses light and mirrors to see objects. Instead, they detect gamma rays from high-energy objects in space. In very simple words, gamma rays are basically the most energetic form of light in the universe that can travel through almost anything. They come from explosions in space, radioactive materials, and big cosmic events like supernovas. Unlike the ELT, the Cherenkov telescope isn't just one big telescope. It's a network of more than 60 telescopes spread across opposite sides of the Earth. It spans from the Spanish island of La Palma to the Atacama Desert in Chile. For comparison, current gamma-ray telescope arrays only host up to 5 individual telescopes. In 2026, CTAO is expected to run its first intermediate array configurations. That means partial versions of the full telescope network will already be operational. And even in this mode, they'll still outperform current gamma-ray observatories. Once complete, CTAO will scan the universe, letting scientists unlock mysteries around black holes, dark matter, neutron stars, and the most extreme cosmic explosions. From scanning the universe, let's now shift our focus to something much closer to Earth. These are the next generation of American passenger jets and bombers. First up, we have the Boeing 777X. This long-awaited wide-body jet was supposed to make its debut earlier, but now first deliveries are expected between 2026 and 2027. One interesting design feature of this plane is its folding wing tips. Because the 777X has an enormous wingspan, the tips fold upward on the ground, so it can still fit into standard gates or hangars made for the regular 787. It's also powered by an exclusively made engine called the GE9X. It's also one of the world's largest commercial jet engines, which offers up to 10% better fuel efficiency compared to its predecessor. It's still unclear when exactly the first planes will be delivered, but once it rolls out, the 777X will become the world's largest and most powerful advanced twin-engine jet. But while Boeing is preparing to take civilians farther than ever, the U.S. Air Force is getting ready for its newest generation bomber. This is the B-21 Radar from Northrop Grumman. This isn't just another military plane. It's the U.S. Air Force's upcoming backbone for nuclear and conventional strike missions. After its test flights, the B-21 entered low-rate initial production and deliveries to the Air Force are expected to begin by 2026. Designed to replace aging bombers like the B-2 and the B-1, it'll be a stealthy long-range bomber for many years to come. What makes the B-21 really special is its cutting-edge modular design. Each plane is designed with modular systems, meaning it can be upgraded more easily. A B-21 built today could still be on par with other planes in the future because it's designed in a way that new technologies and weapon systems can easily be fitted into the plane. Over in New York, the Buffalo Bills are building a brand new stadium in Orchard Park, just across the street from the old one. This is the new Himax Stadium. It's an open-air natural grass venue capable of seating around 62,000 spectators. Construction officially began in 2023, and the main structure is already starting to take shape. Recent photos reveal that the stadium's canopy is already completed, and if all goes to plan, it's currently scheduled to open in 2026. Meanwhile, in Barcelona, the iconic Camp Nou is undergoing a full-blown transformation. It includes a completely rebuilt third tier, as well as an upgrade on most of the existing facilities, such as better viewing angles on seats, increased parking spaces, and improvements in VIP services. Once the renovation is complete, the stadium is expected to hit a capacity of 105,000 spectators from an original 99,000. Camp Nou would also become the second biggest football stadium in the world, behind only North Korea's Rangrad 1st of May. As of 2025, thousands of workers are on site. They've already laid down a brand new pitch, but work on the upper tiers and the roof continues. A partial reopening was even done in November 2025, and if all goes to plan, they aim to reopen the stadium by 2026. Heading over to neighboring France, the Grand Paris Express is charging full speed ahead. It's being built as a massive expansion of the Paris Metro with 4 new lines and extensions of 2 existing ones. Line 18, which already begun testing train sets, is expected to partially open in 2026. This includes the section from Massy-Palzo up to Cristo Saclay. The rest of the line is expected to slowly open from 2027 until 2030. Meanwhile, lines 15, 16, and 17 are all expected to be operational before 2031. What's truly mind-blowing about this expansion isn't just the number of lines. It's the scale of engineering work that's actually being done. More than 20 tunnel-boring machines are being used simultaneously to carve out hundreds of kilometers of new metro tunnels. Put simply, this isn't just a metro. It's one of the biggest and most ambitious transport projects in Europe, and it's reshaping how Paris and its surrounding suburbs are connected with each other. In southern Germany, one of Europe's most controversial rail projects is finally making a major move. Stuttgart 21 is transforming the region's entire rail backbone. They're turning its old 20th-century terminus into a sleek underground through station designed to handle faster trains, more capacity, and a completely new way of moving through the region. If you can't immediately picture what that means, well, they're quite literally turning the whole train station by 90 degrees. They are doing this to make way for the approach of new tracks. Instead of coming from the north, the new tracks are positioned from east to west instead. To make this possible, they're building the new tracks below ground and completely reworking the historic station on the surface. But the station itself isn't even the hardest part of the project. It's creating more than 50 kilometers of new tunnels underneath one of the busiest parts of the city. Crews are also building the project signature columns, these massive concrete structures that hold up the station's curved roof while letting natural light pour into the platforms below. The new central station is now expected to open by December 2026 with continuous testing throughout the entire year. Though there are some rumors that it might be delayed yet again, we'll just have to wait and see. So 2026 looks like it'll be another huge year for construction and engineering, and we really look forward to it. Which of these mega projects impressed you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for being with us all throughout 2025, and we wish you a wonderful start to the new year. Bye-bye.